our worst competition is ourselves. It's not the other guy. It's not the other agent. It's us. It's us deciding every moment of the day to stay committed and in the face of adversity. And so it's always good, I think, to have some kind of reminders of what things to do and how to think in order to give yourself the best opportunities for not just immediate success, but long-term success. So a couple of points here I brought down here. One thing that always worked well for me is I always assumed that I sucked. I was terrible. I never had an ego about myself getting started in this business. In fact, one of the things that attracted me about Final Expense is that it really came down to hard work as being the differentiator. That's what was apparent to me. Final Expense wasn't a product where, and likely most products that are kind of transactional, one call close type products in insurance are very much like this, as I found. It's not a technically difficult product. It's something that it's not a high trust sale. You certainly trust and rapport involved for sure. That's why we train you to do it. But it's nothing that's so out of the ordinary like some, multi-year sales cycle estate deal that's a six-figure opportunity. And the thing that I like about that, and this is kind of where I thought about this, is that I didn't need to be, this is a hard work type of profession, as really all insurance sales professions are, in the sense that you can make up for your lack of skill or natural talent just with sheer hard work ethic. And I think that's really been one of the defining differences for me personally why I've been successful in this business. I think I'm good at this business, but there's plenty of people that we talk to that I've interviewed that, dude, they're very persuasive. They're very good at this business. They've got more talent than I do. And the way that I kind of looked at this was that I could up in that or make up for that by just lasting longer, by going further, by doing extra. And so I would ask you guys to think of the same. You don't have to be the best and most talented in the business to be successful. In many cases, the people who are successful are they're just good. They're not great. You've heard people who have done calls that are better than them, but the difference maker in who they are and how they've been successful is not on their raw talent. It's on their never-ending discipline to execute the fundamentals. And they've just kept with it longer and further and have gotten through the hard times that even the most talented go through and have the mindset to get through that difficulty. I think in a sense, we find that's true in a lot of walks in life. It's not really the most talented that make it. It's talent helps, but it's the discipline executed, not over the short, but the long term, that puts you ahead incrementally every day, a little bit every day, but that adds up to miles and then hundreds of miles ahead of everybody else. So in this process of doing this, guys, just remember that. How can you make up for your lack of perceived talent? Well, it's following the system. And it's trusting in the process that as you follow the system, you'll learn, because sales is a learnable skill. This is not anything that, is some kind of secret code methodology that, is something unique or special. It's just following the directions and trusting the time factor and your exposure to the execution that's going to get you further along the way in understanding the process, developing the skill set, and then ultimately becoming a natural at it. So I can say all this, again, I can only speak what I've experienced. I'm an introvert. I played video games all the time when I was a kid. I didn't like calling Papa John's or Pizza Hut to place a pizza order. It was just too much nerves for me to talk to somebody on the phone. I basically reprogrammed my brain through exposure, through reading and reviewing, through mentors, I guess you could say, and being open-minded to allowing myself to change, but in combination, of course, with really working hard. So all this is to say, if you feel worried about getting into this business, that this is tough, that this is overwhelming, it's supposed to be, number one. That helps thin the herd to keep the strong, right? You don't want a lot of competition. You don't want this to be too easy. Otherwise, it'll be overrun with agents and there won't be as much opportunity. So embrace that. And then number two, have the faith that as you go through this process, and plus the hard work, that you will get this, that the overwhelming will become simple, the complex will become simple.